Follow NairaBet on Twitter @NairaBet and on Facebook @NairaBet Online to take part in our infamous giveaways, and you too can win big. NairaBet, the home of sports betting and fast payments in Nigeria.
Football Live, the preview show with Andrew Buonocore.
Welcome to Football Live, the preview show. We are here this weekend, as every weekend, with the latest football action as it happens in the Premier League and right across Europe with our team of reporters who will be your eyes on the action on the pitch. You can follow the action live right here on Brilla FM from 2:30 on Saturday and 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Our first featured game on Saturday would have been the Graham Potter derby, but the former Brighton and now former Chelsea boss is no longer at the helm of the London club, and instead it's Frank Lampard making the decisions for what will be his first home game since taking over again. For their part, Brighton will be hoping to avoid any further VAR decisions going against them, because you don't rise up the league table courtesy of apologies from referees. Spurs entertain lowly Bournemouth and will be without interim head coach Christian Stellini after he was adjudged to have gotten himself involved in a touchline bust-up in their home game last week against Brighton. Both Son and Kane got on the scoresheet last time out, and a solid run of goals from those two would greatly help Spurs in their quest for a top 4 finish. The Cherries beat Leicester last week to escape the clutches of the dreaded bottom 3 and could do with getting something from this game to avoid getting dragged back in. Leicester followed up that defeat to Bournemouth by appointing Dean Smith as interim manager until the end of the season. He'll be looking for the Foxes to bounce back, but he's got a massive task ahead of him. His first game in charge, how about away to Manchester City? Despite being 2 points from safety and playing the league's form team, Dino is relishing his return to management.
I've had a nice break. The first break I've had, I think since I came into management for the first time, I think I've had 9 on 600 consecutive games. I had a nice break, but it's nice to be back and none more so than being at this football club and this training centre. So excited now, but know there's a lot of hard work in front of us and looking forward to it.
Leicester are obviously in a precarious position at the moment. How do you assess the Premier League situation?
Yeah, it is precarious. And if it was something that I thought was insurmountable, then, I wouldn't have come. And Shaky and JT wouldn't have come if they believed that also. So we're looking forward to the challenge, but we know it's going to be tough, and we'll be putting demands on the players. And we'll be putting demands on ourselves, and we'll be spending every minute of every day to make sure we work hard to make sure that we keep this football club in the Premier League.
City, meanwhile, are fresh from a fantastic 3-0 win in the Champions League against Bayern Munich, a result that was a massive disappointment for Bayern boss Thomas Tuchel in just his 4th game in charge.
I try to convince to not allow my players to focus on the result, because I think it's not a deserved result. It does not tell the story of this match, and that's why that will be the challenge, to focus on the things that we did good. We played with personality, we played with courage, we played with the right attitude, we played with a lot of quality. I think in the second half, over 20-25 minutes, we were even stronger than the first half. We had the chance to shift the momentum completely, but we did not get the reward that we deserved for all the effort. We were behind from a shot from Rodri with the left foot from outside the box. I mean, if this is the goal you concede in Manchester City, this is normally the goal that you want to shoot and that you want to score. And if you play away game in City, you think like, okay, let's have a goal from 20 meters into the top corner. And if City gets this kind of goal, if this is the chance that puts you behind, it gets really, really difficult. The reaction was great during the first half. The reaction in the second half was even better, and right in the moment where I think it was like already shifted the momentum, but where a goal could give us a huge boost of confidence, the opposite happened. So now everybody is disappointed, of course, and it's a very mixed feeling, because I think also the players, I told them, and I think they felt that this does not feel like a 3-0.
4 hours of football every Saturday and Sunday on Brilla FM with Football Live.
But it always starts with us.
All the key action from around Europe's top leagues.
Wow. Just wow.
Follow NairaBet on Twitter at NairaBet and on Facebook at NairaBet Online to take part in our infamous giveaways, and you too can win big. NairaBet, the home of sports betting and fast payments in Nigeria.
Another featured game on Saturday takes place at Goodison Park, where former Toffees boss Marco Silva brings his Fulham side to try and hammer another nail in Everton's relegation coffin. Fulham themselves have not won a game since the end of February, a run of 5 defeats in a row, including losses to 2 teams in that relegation fight. With no Alexander Mitrovic, Fulham's season is in danger of petering out, but they would take that over Everton's plight, outside the bottom 3 on goal difference alone and desperately needing 3 points. However, nobody is in more trouble than Southampton. On their 3rd manager of the season, bottom of the league, and not looking like they can dig their way out, they entertain the high-flying Eagles of Crystal Palace, who have notched up 7 goals in the 2 matches since Roy Hodgson returned. Palace on the way up, and it looks increasingly like the Saints are on their way down. The final Premier League game we'll be featuring from 2:30 on Saturday afternoon is at Molineux, where Wolves play Brentford. Wolves have a good number of clubs between them and the drop, but you cannot say they're out of the relegation fight. The 4 teams below them and the drop zone cover just 4 points. Wolves' main problem is scoring goals, while the Bees have gone 4 games without registering a win. No relegation worries for Brentford, but a win for them edges them closer to an unlikely European adventure next season. Finally, on Saturday, we'll be bringing you all the action from Naples, where Victor Osimhen's Napoli will need to put their disappointing Champions League defeat to Milan behind them to take a step closer to that precious league title when they face Verona. Osimhen has missed 3 games, with Napoli losing 2 of them, so his return from injury is absolutely vital for them in the title run-in. Sunday's show starts at 2 p.m. exclusively live on Brilla FM, and we'll be bringing you both the Premier League games, starting with the league leaders Arsenal, who travel a few miles over to the London Stadium to play West Ham in a London derby that means a great deal to both clubs. Arsenal had their lead at the top chipped back from 8 points to 6 over Manchester City, and with City looking almost guaranteed to win at the weekend, a win is vital for the Gunners. After that damaging 2-2 draw against Liverpool, Mikel Arteta was still in a positive mood.
We started the game exceptionally well, dominated it, took the game where we wanted, scored the first one, continued to play the way we wanted to score the second one, and that was the moment to kill the game. And just before halftime, we gave them hope. We conceded the goal, and they generated some belief in this special atmosphere and a stadium, and the second half was a very different story. Not the way we started, because I think we started really well the first few minutes, but then we didn't continue to play. We gave every single ball away, especially in very dangerous areas when you allowed open spaces and big transition moments against the best team in the world doing that. And when that happens, it's chaos, it's a lot of balls in your box, it's difficult to get out of those situations, and then you have to suffer. And we rely on big defensive moments where Aaron took a big part of it, and they missed the penalty. And then we could have nicked the game, because we have 3 huge situations on the counter that they are overloaded, or we are 2 against 2. And we miss as well that ruthlessness to take the game. So looking at the 2 halves, probably it's a fair result. You have to take it. And the big lesson is play the way we played the first half.
Next Saturday, Chelsea
Not comfortable at all.
take on Brighton.
Complete cruise control.
Tottenham Hotspur
No, it's not a club in crisis.
against Bournemouth
So this is a must-win for them.
in the Premier League. Exclusive coverage on Football Live.
It's really going to make a difference.
West Ham had a good win over Fulham last time out, but they've had an away game in Europe to deal with since then, and they will have to recover quickly for this game, which they need to get something from to step further away from the bottom 3. It'll be very interesting to see how David Moyes approaches this game, given their more attacking style last time out. Our final featured game in the Premier League on Sunday sees Nottingham Forest face Manchester United, Forest are fresh from a defeat against Aston Villa and also from losing their sporting director, fired by the club this week. United boss Erik ten Hag has some work to do to understand the impact of their collapse against Benfica in the Europa League on Thursday. 2-0 up and cruising, United picked up several bookings and injuries before conceding 2 late own goals to draw 2-2. United are in a dogfight for the Champions League spots with Newcastle and Spurs, while Forest are in big trouble after dropping back into the relegation places after that Villa defeat. Another loss for Forest would see them fall away from safety. Sunday's Football Live will also have a truckload of action from across Europe, with 2 games from Germany's Bundesliga, where Union Berlin play Bochum and Werder Bremen play Freiburg. Action from La Liga, where Getafe play Barcelona, the Dutch Eredivisie, where Volendam hosts PSV Eindhoven, Ligue 1 with Monaco versus Lorient, and finally from Italy's Serie A, where we have Sassuolo versus Juventus. That's all from Football Live, the preview show. We'll be live from 2:30 on Saturday afternoon and again at 2 o'clock on Sunday with the best reporters in the business covering no less than 15 games to bring you all the action as it happens. As ever, we would be honoured to have you join us, be it live on Brilla FM, the Brilla FM app, or streaming live on the net at brilla.net.
You are listening to Football Live on Brilla FM.
Liverpool 7, Manchester United 0. This is just incredible. The wheels have just fallen off the wagon.
4 hours of football every Saturday and Sunday on Brilla FM with Football Live.
Oh my word, it's an absolute massive goal for Arsenal's title hopes here.
Wow, just wow.
Follow NairaBet on Twitter at NairaBet and on Facebook at NairaBet Online to take part in our infamous giveaways, and you too can win big. NairaBet, the home of sports betting and fast payments in Nigeria.